I'm Nick Altmeyer, linkinglewiscounty.com. We're here this afternoon with Lewis County Manager Ryan Pichet, Village of Lowville Mayor Joseph Beagle, and the Lewis County Planning Department County Planner Cassandra Buell. And we're here to talk today about the Lowville DRI project. So Joe's going to talk a little bit about it's the Downtown Revitalization Initiative. Every year this is the fourth round, and every year a community from the North Country is going to get a $10 million grant toward downtown revitalization. So this is the first year Lowville is actually applying for the grant. So Joe's going to talk a little bit about why the village is applying and what it actually means to the village.
Well, at the moment, I think the village is primed to go after this grant, mainly because we're in the process of putting about $35 million worth of infrastructure in the village, and that will facilitate the existing industry we have here to make sure it stays, and hopefully any other industry that might want to come in. And to do that, we also need the workforce to go along with that, and to keep the workforce here in the village, we need these amenities that we're in a process of trying to develop, which is the walking trails and better parking and visitor centers, so when our tourists come into town, they can know and look at our historic sites, and hopefully possibly a place for snowmobilers to park in the wintertime so they can enjoy our downtown restaurants and whatnot. We're also hoping to be able to bring in maybe some new housing and new businesses to the uptown. That's about it.
Okay. So, and as a planner, Cassandra, I know that the county is assisting the village with their application process. So, can you just walk people through a little bit about what the application process involves and how you're going about putting that all together?
Sure. The application process is quite short. The funding was released and announced in late April, so we've only had a short period of time to consult with the Village of Lowville on, the path forward. We're working with consultants to put together the application, a very good, well-rounded application. As our first application, the Department of Economic Development is also assisting us with this, and it's due by May 31st. So we've put out some business concept forms so businesses can send in their interests, projects, ideas, along with their budgets, so we can sift through those, because we by no means think that we are the only ones who know what's going on in this area. We really want the feedback from the residents and the businesses. We will also have a public open house and meeting at the Lewis County Historical Society on Tuesday, May 21st. And we'll be open from noon to 4 open to discuss anything between myself, the consultants, economic development, the village, to offer any of the ideas that we've been putting together in that time frame. And after that, we will have a formal DRI presentation from 5:30 to 6 p.m. Following the presentation, there will be a walking tour of some of the identified areas that have been brainstormed and projects that could possibly make it onto the application. So we definitely welcome any input. Whether you think it's a crazy idea or not, we definitely want to hear it. So I highly suggest that residents, community members who are interested or have a crazy idea, or what they believe is a crazy idea, to send it on over to the team at Lowville DRI at lewiscounty.ny.gov.
Okay, and we'll put that email address up on the bottom for you. And as far as I know you're getting some different ideas and things like that, but what are some of the parameters for what kind of projects are you looking for?
We're looking for innovative projects. We essentially want to spark economic development in the downtown corridor. We want to retain employees, attract talent. We want to develop the downtown corridor to make it aesthetically pleasing to visitors and residents. So that right now is the goal. No project is too silly. So send it our way and give us an opportunity to work out the numbers, work out the ideas, how it would complement other projects that are currently happening or could be happening with this DRI project. So right now, a lot of the community residents really want to see recreational trails, which has been part of the conversations from the very beginning, from the get-go. So we're happy to know that there's support behind that. Also working in the fairgrounds, we're hoping to be able to get that area within our boundary, our DRI boundary, as well as a couple other projects. But we haven't decided definitively on that boundary yet. It's in the works as we speak.
So, and we do have a little bit of a map in the background there. As far as this is the third round, or the fourth round for this grant.
Right.
So some people might be familiar with the first year Plattsburgh got the grant in the North Country, then Watertown got the grant, and then Saranac Lake got it last year.
Right.
Have you been in discussion with any of those communities as far as how the application process goes, and maybe some pointers on how to get a good application together, things like that?
Well, luckily we've partnered with a consultant, Bergman and Associates, who has extensive knowledge and extensive experience in these DRIs, and they're very familiar with those the winning applications and the applications that haven't won the first or second time, but were able to score it on the third time. Throughout the state, it's not just the North Country that they have experience with. So that's been very helpful for us to kind of zone in on what we should be looking at and what we should be targeting and emphasizing on our application.
Okay. And do we know who some of the competitors might be for this year?
Sure. I believe it's been released. Potsdam is looking for it, and I believe Messina has done quite a bit of community outreach.
Okay.
And I believe there's a few others. Are you aware of the other two?
I am not. I don't know if you are.
No, I'm not sure if there's anybody else that's.
And this is a process that if you don't get it the first go around, you can always resubmit an application.
That's right.
A different year. What kind of impacts do you see this having on the county if Lowville were to be awarded a grant like this?
Well, I think it is actually, the impact is more than just Lewis County. I think that the project that we're putting together is a regional project. You look at what really sets Lowville apart is that our downtown is within walking distance from 3 major manufacturing employers. Nina Paper, which by the way also supports the surrounding logging industry and trucking industry. You've got AMF Kubica, which also supports the surrounding logging and trucking industry, and Kraft Heinz, which supports the local dairy and trucking industry in Lewis County and beyond. So when you think about the impact of those 3 manufacturers and creating a place that is going to be attractive to educated and talented professionals, so that those manufacturers keep the employees and get the talent that they need to stay here in Lewis County, that has an impact that is far beyond just the county and far beyond just downtown Lowville. That's an impact that stretches well around the North Country. So to me, I think it's smart to make these strategic investments now and look to the state for some assistance to make sure that our communities are competitive with everyone else going forward, because these manufacturers aren't going to stick around here if they can't find employees that want to live and work in our communities. So we have to make those investments.
Right. And I think we kind of touched on in the beginning with Joe the significance of it's kind of good timing with all of the
new infrastructure
that Lowville is working on right now with the 5 Streets project, and a lot of upgrades are going on in the village. So it coincides nicely timing wise with making some other improvements.
I think it says that the village of Lowville in Lewis County isn't looking for a handout. It says that we're here and committed. I mean, the village is putting their fair share into the future of this community. And so what we're looking for is some assistance to take that next big step.
The next step, right.
Yep.
Okay. So again, for everyone, the open house and public meeting is going to be on Tuesday, May 21st.
Yep.
That's right at the Historical Society in Lowville. I think 12 to 4 is the open house part.
Yep.
5:30 to 6 is the presentation.
Yes.
And then
And following the presentations,
walking
tour. Yep.
walking tour after that.
That'll be cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you guys have to have everything finalized with the application by the end of May.
May 31st.
And then we'll have our fingers crossed until October?
Sometime between August and October, we would expect to hear.
Okay, perfect. Did you have anything else to add?
No, I'm good, thank you.
Okay. Well, we really appreciate
Yeah.
you all gathering here this afternoon here at the Village of Lowville office, and it really is an exciting project for Lowville to be pursuing, and we really wish you all the best of luck in securing the grant funding.